Hello, and welcome to How Quality Management Principles and Systems Further Organizational Success and Create a Competitive Advantage Track. My name is Dr. Connie Witten, and I am BAOM Core Faculty at Ford School of Business and Technology, UAGC. I am the host for this session, Business Process Redesign, BPR, to improve operational effectiveness through systematic redesign and centralization of systems and processes. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC-related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation. We encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. We have also enabled live transcription. If you'd like to use it, click the live transcription button at the bottom of your Zoom window. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Cassie Hurst and Brian Aylward. Cassie Hurst joined the University of Arizona Global Campus in June of 2011, serving in several roles within academics. Cassie currently serves as Senior Manager of Faculty Systems and Data, leading a team of academic technology professionals focused on inspiring adoption and effective use of technology solutions and services, and spearheading the integration and advancement of data that support teaching and learning. Cassie has over 15 years of project management experience and a record for innovating and implementing faculty support services and technology. She enjoys working collaboratively with academic leadership to plan and promote institution-wide initiatives that ultimately support the academic success of UAGC students. Cassie holds an MA in psychology from the University of the Rockies and a BA in psychology from the University of Massachusetts Lowell. Dr. Brian Aylward is the Associate Director of Academic Operations for the University of Arizona Global Campus. Brian's division encompasses faculty scheduling department for the university across 50 plus start dates annually, the contracts and payroll compliance department, as well as the data and academic systems department for the university. Brian has almost 14 years of experience in higher education and operations across numerous departments, including student services, registrar, curriculum operations, as well as academic operations. In addition to his experience, Brian has been an associate faculty member for Ford School of Business and Technology since 2012, with focused instruction on leadership and management courses. Brian is an advocate of high quality education with experience in online, traditional classroom, as well as hybrid classroom formats, online and classroom, and is well versed in the challenges that both exist for both students and faculty. He received his doctorate in psychology, business, and organizational leadership from the University of the Rockies in 2017. Now, will you please welcome Brian and Cassie and enjoy their informative presentation.
Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. As Connie stated, today's presentation is on the improvement of operational efficiencies through a systematic redesign and centralization of systems and processes. My co-presenter here is Cassie Hurst. We're excited to just kind of share some of our experiences through our migration over to a new faculty portal system, and look forward to answering any questions or anything you have at the conclusion of our presentation. The agenda for today's presentation is pretty straightforward. We'll start by reviewing the learning outcomes we hope each participant will take away from this presentation. From there, we'll introduce the concept of business process redesign and how it is applicable here at UAGC. Next, Cassie will review the rationale for the university's decision to transition our processes over to a centralized faculty portal system. This will include a discussion of the successes experienced during this migration, as well as a review of the opportunities learned by our academic operations team here during this process. We'll round out our presentation with a review of active learning theory and its application here, as well as total quality management and the continuous improvement cycle here leveraged at the institution. We want to make sure we leave enough room at the conclusion of this presentation to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to jot those down as we're going through the slides here, and you can ask away at the end of the presentation here. So thanks in advance. As you can see, there's three primary objectives here as an audience member here for the presentation: to identify the business process redesign approach leveraged by UAGC to improve our operational efficiencies, to understand the successes experienced during the migration of processes to a new centralized system, as well as those opportunities learned, and three, to understand the application of active learning theory and total quality management practices to ensure collaboration across the university with a focus on continuous system improvement. Business process redesign was initially introduced in the early 1990s. It's loosely defined as a systematic approach to increase performance improvement in entire business processes. Their major vehicles were the application of information technology on one hand and the restructuring of business processes on the other. This approach was coined with terms like business process re-engineering and business process redesign, both of which we'll refer to as BPR. According to Brandon Culp, BPR distinguishes four primary components driving the redesign measures for an organization. These include time, cost, quality, and flexibility. Each of these were major influences in the decision to redesign our faculty management processes to help increase efficiencies for the operations and administrative teams here at the university, as well as increase transparency of processes for our faculty. Over the last 18 months, the UAGC academic operations teams spearheaded a complete business process redesign of the institution's work, centralizing many of our third-party systems and overall processes into one centralized faculty management portal, supported through our partners at APL NextED or NextEd. This was accomplished by the Academic Operations Department through a migration of multiple functions and processes across multiple systems and locations over to that one centralized location. This was an undertaking designed to complete a full overhaul of all business processes related to the faculty experience and all aspects of the faculty life cycle here at UAGC.
Thanks, Brian. The objective with redesigning a business process is ideally to reduce the time it takes to complete the process, decrease the cost of executing the process, improve the quality of service delivered, and to ensure adaptability for potential variations in the future. For us here at the University of Arizona Global Campus, our business process redesign focused around our dire need to integrate and centralize the various systems and processes we use to support the entire faculty life cycle, and ultimately improve the faculty experience. At minimum, faculty at UAGC had at least 4 different systems with unique logins that they were required to access in order to complete their work as a faculty member. As you can imagine, this was not an optimal experience for faculty, nor was it an efficient way for administrative users to gather faculty data from the various systems. After a 7+ year search for this centralized system, we have finally been able to provide a comprehensive faculty portal to our faculty with the help from our partners at APL NextEd. Since we have implemented the new faculty portal, we have been able to eliminate dependency on multiple third-party applications. We are in the process of and very close to retiring our legacy faculty management system. We've been able to increase transparency of processes for faculty, centralize data and reporting, and most recently, implement a new faculty compensation model. We began implementation of the new faculty portal in early 2020. Since that time, we have successfully migrated over 3,000 active user profiles and their respective scholarly and professional activity data, configured portal access through a single sign-on solution for all faculty, rolled out a new contracts workflow for adjunct faculty, eliminating dependency on another third-party application, redeveloped our instructional quality review evaluations within the portal, which allowed us to retire another internally built legacy system, create and manage professional development opportunities for faculty, centralize our data reporting capabilities, improve processes, and increase efficiencies that we were unable to do previously due to the limited functionality of our legacy systems. And improve collaboration and transparency between faculty and administrators, which in turn has driven continuous improvement of the overall faculty experience. I'll now hand things over to Brian to discuss opportunities learned during implementation.
Great, thanks, Cassie. Despite the overall successes from our implementation, there were a number of opportunities learned during this migration of processes and services, which are helping to really guide our future work with APL NextEd. First, there was a lot of initial confusion for faculty and staff with navigating in the new system. This was particularly true with user interface updates, changes related to configurations, design, and processes by APL NextEd. Ultimately, these required updates to existing training materials and resources that had already previously been developed. Resource limitations are something we can all relate to. During our customized developments, these resource limitations by our internal teams, as well as our vendor relationships, created some initial timeline impacts for these migrations of services. There were initially a number of limitations within the reporting functionality in the system, which is still being expanded on and continues to more effectively meet our needs as more updates are released. There were some required adjustments to current processes to accommodate new system functionality and potential limitations in design to meet our complex needs as an institution. This was definitely related more to our own internal processes that had been initially developed to accommodate concerns with our legacy systems and limited functionality and customization opportunities. And the continuous need to prioritize and reprioritize university initiatives based on impact due to limitations with development resources across those multiple entities and organizations, including our own. As the new system was being built out, active learning theory was put into place here to practice for each component necessary for a successful migration. Team members were identified and work groups were established to help promote a cross-functional and fully collaborative design and development approach to the new system. Active learning helped to ensure all perspectives from departments and stakeholders impacted through these various migrations were able to effectively help in the business process redesign and continuous improvement process. A large aspect of total quality management is that continual process improvement that Cassie can help with elaborating on now.
TQM is recognized as an effective management philosophy for continuous improvement, customer satisfaction, and organizational excellence. For our faculty portal implementation, we leveraged both business process redesign and total quality management simultaneously, with our focus really being on that continuous improvement piece. As you can see in the diagram here, the continuous improvement cycle is an ongoing effort to improve quality and efficiency. Following this cycle, we begin by identifying opportunities in the process workflow, develop a plan for how the current process can be improved, implement those planned changes, and review or evaluate whether or not the changes are working. Much of our improvement efforts include collaboration between key stakeholders, including faculty and administrative users. By encouraging cross-functional collaboration and teamwork, we are empowering faculty to share their experiences and provide feedback, which in turn we use to identify opportunities for improvement. User feedback is one of the most important tools we use to measure our success. These ongoing efforts to improve quality and efficiency are what makes us successful in meeting stakeholder expectations. By increasing transparency through collaborative systems development, we can successfully improve operational efficiency and productivity, make meaningful and effective enhancements to current systems and processes, connect faculty to their own continual learning process, and ultimately contribute to student success.
Great, thank you, Cassie. That's all for today. So wanted to kind of open it up to see if anybody had any questions or anything we can help with.
I have a question for you. And
Yeah.
I'm not fast typing, so I came on. Is there any way that we'll start to integrate our student faculty or student databases so that faculty could actually access and look up our own students so that the systems would speak to each other?
I'll answer that, Brian. We are working right now to integrate some student data. However, because different teams manage those data points, we don't necessarily have access to everything at this point. But I think we'll see more in the near future as we kind of combine team efforts to combine the data.
Perfect. Thank you.
I think part of that will parlay into the new student information system migration that we're going through and what we'll have access to as that's getting completed as well.
Exactly.
Hey, Brian and Cassie, I just wanted to send some kudos your way. I really enjoyed your talk, and it's wonderful to be reinforced on and to take us back through this whole continuum, because as you were speaking, I'm listening more with a quality management ear, and as I'm listening, I'm seeing exactly how well you've integrated in the concept of active learning as well as the universal principles of quality management. For example, you're focused on us, the customer, the faculty, the university. You're also involving us, active learning, process of doing and observing, dialogue with self and others. You have a process approach to this. There's continual improvement. I heard Cassie talk about feedback. There's different types of feedback, feed forward, the regular feedback, and then the type of feedback that is a concurrent control, where something goes wrong, you got it. I just wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to maybe come into one of my classrooms for a quick narrowed down version of this and just kind of talk about it and use the same type of terminologies and methodologies that you discussed here, because I really believe your presentation is a wonderful example of quality management, through the continuum. So no questions, just kudos, and keep the process going. And the one thing I like to say about the people on your team, you're developing leaders. Javier, if I have a question, I've gone to Cassie. Brian, I've come to you. I've taken time out with Javier, and all the time I walk away with customer satisfaction. I'm highly satisfied. You help me narrow it down. You help me, connect. So that's the kind of thing you need when you need a process. And I just want to tell you, relating to quality management, just an absolute super job. Just a super job.
Thanks so much, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. I'm happy to come talk to any students you want.
I'll find you on the email.
Well, do we have any other questions for Cassie and Brian?
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate it, and giving us the opportunity to share some of our experiences. So thank you.
Yeah, it was a great presentation and answers a lot of our questions, especially as faculty out here, because we're walking through this transition with you and we're seeing great things. Thank you for a great presentation, and thank you, audience, for participating in today's session. We encourage you to attend the next keynote presentation, Dr. Karen Sibley, Serving Students in Transforming Society, today at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Please enjoy the rest of the TLC. Have a wonderful day, and our next session will begin shortly.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.